my feelings towards different boys were really strong and wrong, and so I kind of shut them down completely.
My parents are pretty much simple people, but they taught me right from wrong about everything. So it's wrong to be gay. I know that. My dad used to say, round them all up, send them to California, and bomb the hell out of those fruits and nuts. I hear all this talk about a gay community here, but I've never actually seen it. So I looked at a road map, and there actually is a gay Oklahoma. It's down there by Texas. You guys ought to go down there. It's down on the Red River.
Cayenne pepper, salt and lemon juice, run it through you, it'll cleanse you true. Say your prayers 1,000 times over, maybe she'll change when she's older. When you walk, what do you see? A road to hell or a way to peace. There may be more, there may be one. When you walk, what do you see? When you walk, what do you see? A road to hell or a way to peace. There may be more, there may be one. When you walk, what do you see? When you walk, what do you see? A road to hell or a way to peace. There may be more, there may be one.
I told you there was no gay Oklahoma. But obviously there is, or my sister wouldn't be on food stamps and stuff. She won't take his money. I'm trying to help out. Why the heck is he gay anyway? I know this will sound a little creepy, but my sister is a knockout.
The question of where does sexual orientation come from is, of course, extremely intriguing on a purely intellectual level, and one to which there has been a lot of research directed here in these past few years. And the answer is we don't really know yet. The research is really suggesting that there's something going on biologically that affects sexual attraction patterns. And while these may be influenced in some way by early life experiences, still we can't ignore the biological connection. Is this genetic? Is it biochemical in the intrauterine environment during gestation? We don't really know yet, but something's going on that suggests that basic sexual orientation may be pretty well established at birth, and that life experiences may bring that out in one direction or another.
I grew up with a lot of fear, because a lot of hell and damnation was preached at the Southern Baptist Church that I grew up in.
The Bible forbids sin, but the main difference between you and me is that Jesus saved me and you're still damned.
I spent most of my childhood wanting to be a boy. I remember telling my mother, when I grow up, I want to be a boy, because boys got to go around with their shirts off, they got to ride bikes and do really cool stuff, and they had girlfriends. And I remember as a child pretending I had a girlfriend, but as a teenager and young adult, to have crushes on girls, that's as far as it stayed. I would never tell anyone that I had a crush on a girl because, wow, I knew what that meant. So my senior year of college, I met some really out lesbians who said, they were just all about being themselves, and I thought, And we started hanging out together, and I'd take them sailing and got to know them, and I developed this crush on this woman, and who was older than me. And so I had my first experience. The moment I was with her sexually, I thought, wow, I have finally found myself, and this is very comfortable.
I tell people that, like when I was even 5 and Dukes of Hazzard was the biggest show.
Just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. Beat tall, you never saw. Been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. Straightening the curves, flattening the
You know, I remember like the boys talking about Daisy Duke, and I was always, I mean, Bo and Luke were so cute and so handsome, and I couldn't decide which one was the cutest, but that's who I was interested in. But I didn't understand that that meant I was different from the other boys. It didn't really click. I knew that that's who they were talking about was Daisy, and that my eyes went to Bo and Luke, but it was a really slow thing. I think middle school was where I started to figure out that I had attractions that were not normal, and that were not, you know, that my feelings towards different boys were really strong and wrong, and so I kind of shut them down completely.
I'd feel much more comfortable in a different state. I left the state at 18 because I was gay. I went to the military because I was gay, and I didn't want anybody to know I was gay. I wanted to prove to you I was a man. So where do you go? You can only go to the Marine Corps, and that will make you a man. They would take all the lookers at me, because I have a very high voice to begin with, and I was very slender at the time. And everybody would always ask me, "Are you gay? Are you gay?" And I was like, "Now how can I avoid these questions?" I went into the military, and I figured that if anybody can make me not gay, would be the military. And in the military, when I went in, I avoided all. I had no contact, and you know, they teased me about being gay in the Marines, and I tell them, "No way, let's go down to the Booger Bar and hang out, just to make sure." And I never even had any sexual contact at all while I was in there. I was using the Marine Corps as basically the model that you might say, the gay to straight program. You know, being gay, you go into the Marine Corps and they will make you straight. Or psychologically, you feel straight. Too bad that you're looking at other men or whatever. But it's a disguise. And I've dated a lot of women just for my mother's sake, because in Oklahoma, you're supposed to have a house, a picket fence, a station wagon, 2 kids, and go to the church, you know. And I figured I couldn't own up to all that, so I could go to the military instead. And I retired out of the military, and because I had ankylosing spondylitis, and I never came back to the state until 3 or 4 years ago, when my father got extremely sick. I came back to help take care of him and take care of my mother. But I lived in Guatemala and never had this hatred. I lived in LA, Seattle, San Antonio. I lived in all these states and never had as much hatred directed at me for no reason. I mean, I'd not done anything wrong. I mean, I'm not out there with a big gay flag across my house stating I'm gay, I'm here, and all that. I'm just your regular neighbor. You know, I mow my lawn, I take care of my flowers, I do all that. There's no different. We all go to the grocery store the same. So why would they want to make me go away? But yes, I'd feel much more comfortable in a different state. I'd feel much more comfortable in a different country where I know I can have rights. We're born this way. God made us this way, and we have a purpose. And that's my true belief. I didn't choose. There's no choice about it. I didn't choose to be gay. Chloe and I had been together for 2 years. And then my previous lover and I were together for over 20 years. You can say lover or your partner. And usually I say my partner, because they never know if it's your business partner or actually a partner. I don't say this is my wife or this is my boyfriend or none of that. It's my partner or this is my lover. And I only use my lover if I'm comfortable with the surroundings and I know it's not going to cause a problem. I have to be on my toes because you never know who you're talking to. I'm Anglican Catholic, and we don't discriminate against anyone. We open our arms to gay, straight, bisexual, transgender. For instance, like if you get married in our church, we do the marriage between men and men, women and women, and heterosexuals. But as far as the counseling goes, you go through the same counseling, same questionnaires, same readings, everything you have to do the same. It's not different. I was raised Southern Baptist and Free Will Baptist. And in those two churches, if the preacher was not screaming at you, he was not beating that pulpit with a good stroke and not, just really into it, then it was a bad day at church. He was not getting the message across to the followers, or the followers weren't listening enough. And in the one church I attended, whenever I used to go to church, the last 3 rows of the church used to always have to move to the front 3 rows because they were the sinners. They were the ones that needed to hear the message. And he would do it every Sunday. So heaven forbid, don't sit on the back 3 rows. For instance, there was one lady I met. They had prayer circles. She was in a big church here in town. And they would pray for world peace in their prayer circles. I'm sure you know what the prayer circles are, growing up Baptists and stuff. They had prayer circles for world peace and all this. Her son was a Bible scholar. I mean, he learned all the verses in the Bibles different. He went all kinds of word at this big church. And then whenever he came out to her that he was gay, and it got into the church, and she went to her Bible prayer class, and they said, you don't need to attend Bible prayer anymore for praying for world peace. You need to pray for your son because he's going straight to hell. And that destroyed that poor woman. And I could feel her pain.
I had to develop strategies to hide erections. I had to develop strategies to avert my eyes. It was a period of my life when I could not look at anybody